Can we have a moment of silence for Grumpy Cat? Grumpy Cat died, I think, yesterday. Yeah, well, and also news to people out there: stop buying designer cats or animals that have these problems that make them look funny or cute, because it usually comes with a plethora of like health flaws. Like that's an extreme care animal, and most people who are like, oh, I want a cat that looks like Grumpy Cat, aren't willing to put up with like all the health issues. So, just get yourself a regular cat. Get yourself a mixed breed because they're generally healthier. So that's my message.
Welcome, listeners, and thank you for tuning into Those Nerds Over There. This is an enthusiast podcast centered around celebrating and discussing nerd culture. We are your hosts. I am Alan, the bald one.
And I'm Sal, not the bald one.
And I'm Suspiria, also known as Ted in the human world.
Yay. Oh my goodness, what? Who is this? Okay. Yes, we have our good friend Suspiria on with us today. He helped us a lot at filming for Level Up Expo and letting us use all of his equipment for live stream for The Cure.
Yeah,
Yay.
He is essentially an honorary member of Those Nerds Over There, so we had to have him on. I mean, we could have had Karen on, but no one wants her, so...
Jesus.
Oh, that's Karen over there. Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Sus, for all the help you've given us, especially the other day for live stream for The Cure. I remember I came in and I was I had lost a pint of blood and I was about to pass out, and you were there to help us with all of that mess.
You were a hot mess. No, it was my pleasure. I enjoy sharing what I have and what I've learned. So it's a pleasure to hang out with you guys too.
Sweet. And I also want to thank the Epic Film guys. After our segment was over, I'd been watching for the rest of the day, and I don't know how Nick and Dan keep up that energy, because they've been streaming from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. and they're doing that again today for us. It's pretty incredible, and just good on them, and thanks for having us on.
Yeah, I can barely be on camera for 30 minutes, let alone... But yeah, so for those of you who weren't able to catch the live stream, well, you're missing out for one. But we were trying to defuse bombs by playing this game, and our goal was to defuse 10 bombs.
Oh God.
And
I'm still proud of that tutorial bomb. Yeah.
Yeah, we only got through the tutorial bomb. We failed every other bomb, and then subsequently I shaved my head as a punishment.
Yeah, so yay, Alan.
Yay.
Good one for the team.
I hear punishments coming, so I'm a little scared. I'm a little nervous.
I didn't have time to actually prepare this. I mean, if you guys had time some other time, we can just record those separately.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, or... See, the problem is I feel bad that you had to do something so physical.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel like we should also do something. We'll discuss it later.
You can put it on YouTube later.
To our Twitter.
I mean, if it's any if it makes you feel any better, I didn't mind it too much. It kind of felt like falling back into my high school routines, shaving my head, donating blood, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it was kind of nice.
It makes you feel young again, losing parts of your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what a Gen Zer needs, right? To feel young again.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm still the youngest person on the podcast.
Yep.
Without further ado, let's draw our nerd question from the nut jar.
Oh, I'm scared of this too. I hope I get the context.
All right. All right. For first-time listeners, this is what we like to colloquially call the nut jar. It's just a jar that we emptied of its nuts and we filled with listener-submitted questions. A lot of these have actually been Suspiria's questions. And they're just fun discussion questions that, we throw out into the audience because we want to talk with you people. If you want a shout out on the show, feel free to submit a question to us on Twitter at ThoseNerdsCast, or send it to our email, thosenerdscast@gmail.com. And if you do, feel free to include some kind of social media link so we can chat you out. But here we go. Okay, so I pulled out 2 questions by accident. You guys pick right or left.
North.
Left. Oh.
I had the wrong earbuds in. Which one did you guys say?
North.
North.
In honor of North from Detroit Become Human.
Nah. She was my least favorite character in that game.
Oh.
Oh, well, good thing she died.
She died in our game. In the first game we played, she lived.
Oh, Ted said left.
I said,
okay. Well, I accidentally threw that question away already.
oh,
Well,
well then
dang.
right.
It turns out we had no choice. The nut god chose for us.
Is that like an allegory for life?
Oh my. I mean, that's one of my favorite, like, kind of tropes. The choices that you actually didn't have any choice kind of thing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Oh.
Was it like in Tracy Chapman's Fast Car song? It's got like that in there.
I have no idea
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
over my head.
Okay, my apologies. I'm sorry I talked about music.
See, I know music, but not that music.
All right, this question that the jar has chosen comes from Kazel.
Hey.
Yay! I know her.
You can find her on Twitter at Kazelu, Cazeloo. Everywhere else, Kazel R, Cazelr. She's a close friend of ours, and she's an amazing artist. You really should check out her stuff, because on Twitter, she posts sneak peeks of stuff she's drawing, and it's pretty great. And she's drawing some endgame stuff right now, and I'll leave it at that. But Kazel asked today, who is your favorite supervillain?
Oh. This is something Ted could answer.
It is.
Oh,
I had to think deep. I had to think deep about that though. So a guilty pleasure of mine is I like supervillains because I kind of am one.
What? What?
You've seen how dark and brooding the place I live is, and then also I have the big cat who's evil.
I love the energy. Keep it coming.
Okay.
I have that cat that hates everybody else in life except me, you know? So
Yes, all the best supervillains have a cat.
yeah, it's true. It's true. Everyone knows this.
Okay. So then is your favorite villain a Bond villain?
I do like some Bond villains. Well, first off, Christopher Lee played Francisco Scaramanga in The Man with the Golden Gun. So that's like probably one of the weakest Bonds that ever was, which was Roger Moore. But he wasn't that bad. He gets a lot of crap, but he's not that bad. And but that's one of the best movies is The Man with the Golden Gun. And Christopher Lee is just incredible, and that villain is just kind of, you know, you definitely get the fear of like he knows what he's doing. He's powerful. He's got money, and he's got class too. So that makes him kind of like, I don't know, triple threat.
I mean, now I've never seen a Bond movie, so I think I need.
None of them.
Nope.
Oh. But see, in the defense of this too, does he count as a supervillain? He's got no powers. He's not super.
Oh.
I mean, Syndrome didn't have superpowers, but
He
was
had
still a
super
supervillain.
technology.
What do James Bond villains have if not that and a lot of money?
Usually money. That's all they have.
Well, is a supervillain only defined if they are villains to superheroes?
That's a good question.
It seems like Sus is saying that a supervillain is just a villain that has superpowers.
Well, right, but that's why I'm asking, because like someone like Syndrome, he's only a supervillain because his heroes are superheroes.
I don't know, because Megamind was still a villain for the first half of the movie, even after Metro Man was dead, quote unquote.
Yeah, but he had powers too.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I don't think you need a rival.
Yeah.
You just need to be a villain.
With something beyond what a normal villain can have. I'd say that's the definition. So
Kazel's probably thinking, I don't care about the definition.
The semantics of super.
just give me a name. So as a kid, I didn't really grow up with like superheroes or anything that much. I knew a little bit. I don't know if I told you my favorite story about like the first X-Men comic I ever got was about Jubilee, so I thought she was the main character of X-Men. but she's like a super side character. So I always thought Magneto was pretty cool because he was the only supervillain I really knew. And then I kind of got into Spider-Man just a little bit. You know, everyone was all about Venom, but I was like, oh, Carnage can eat Venom for breakfast. So Carnage is like the best supervillain.
Ooh, you know what? I think did you see Venom from Sony with?
I didn't see that movie yet.
All right. Do you mind if I spoil the end credits?
No, you go ahead. Yeah. Spoiler warning here. Shh, shh, shh.
It looks like they're gonna have Woody Harrelson play Carnage in whatever the next sequel is.
Oh man, that sounds great. Actually,
Yeah, like was it the Venom movie was surprisingly fun. Like you know, you go in with these low expectations, but it was actually really fun and good.
yeah, I think it's a movie that like as people told me it's terrible, I would go watch it and actually like it. So
Yeah, it's definitely a fun movie.
Like it wasn't terrible though. Reviews of it all said it was good too.
yeah. Oh well,
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out sometime.
Yeah, just make sure you're not taking it too seriously.
No, I won't. Yeah, I mean it's hard for me to take hero movies seriously anyway. I have fun with them and I don't care. So and then completely off topic, not off topic, but off.
Question.
No, it's on question. Sinestro. I know nothing about him. I know nothing
Oh.
about the Lantern world or anything like that. But I like Sinestro because he like I guess embodies fear,
Yeah.
and I think that's a great like supervillain power. So I've always been like, we've played a DC deck building game, and I've always been into like Sinestro is the card I want to get. You know, so just because I'm like, yeah, he's a great supervillain.
Sinestro is a good villain.
So the little bits I know about him, I really like about him. So if I ever read anything Green Lantern, I hope to like encounter Sinestro in that.
I was gonna say a little backstory on Sinestro.
Please. The only Sinestro I know is from Injustice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So Sinestro used to be a Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch the movie, you would know, but no one watches that movie.
The
No.
Ryan Reynolds one?
Yeah. Sinestro used to be a Green Lantern, but he figured out that fear was a better power to wield than willpower.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what kind of turned him over to the villain or the entity Parallax, who is like the embodiment of fear. And he stole the power from Parallax and he uses it as his own. And he created the Yellow Lantern Corps because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think that's also so true. Like, how many times do people have willpower, but it fails to their fear?
Oh,
Like,
dang.
oh, it got deep.
Yeah, you gave me a little chill with that. I got some flesh.
Yeah. So what about you guys?
I'm trying to think this whole time, too. And, like, Sinestro's a good pick.
I tried to stall for you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And, like, I couldn't help but feel a little basic, you know, in saying the Joker.
But I mean,
Okay.
it is a little basic, but he's such a good villain.
I know. There's so many amazing iterations of him, too.
Yeah. He is a great villain.
But, like,
So
I just, you know, like, I don't know. Like I said, I feel basic. And I guess I shouldn't feel wrong with picking the Joker. But I don't know.
No, there's nothing
Nice.
wrong with that. I think it's
Yeah.
good.
I'll keep thinking.
So my problem is I have one in mind, but usually the archetype of supervillain I actually really enjoy is kind of the god,
The God
Where-
supervillain?
where like he's so
Ahead.
I guess ahead or divine to the point where he just thinks like the heroes are just insects. I mean, you've seen that in like Thanos.
Yeah, I was about to ask
to
if Thanos...
to a lesser degree, right? But it made him a very compelling villain in at least the first Infinity War, not in Endgame. I didn't like him in Endgame,
I
but
didn't
yeah.
like him in either. I'm sorry. But, like, strict equality, whereas a philosophy, I hate that nonsense.
Yeah.
see.
I like him, but I was like so I don't know. I would say like scared or like ready for something like incredible. Like, oh man, when he was like just alluded to at the end of Avengers when he like turns and he's like, I guess I'll do it myself or something. You know, when,
Oh, right.
when like you don't
Oh.
see, but coming from back then when I watched that movie, I didn't know anything about Thanos. All my knowledge came from Sean, and he was like, yeah, this is who Thanos is, and he's going to be a great supervillain. Just wait when these movies come out. And I was like, ooh, I'm excited because that sounds horrifying. And then it wasn't like, I don't know, he set me up high for Thanos to be amazing. And it was kind of like, so what's his power? He's just strong.
Yeah. So
so strong and he wants to destroy half the universe. I guess.
But yeah, I tend to like those kinds of villains. Fire Emblem actually always has those kinds of villains too.
Yeah, that's true.
So probably one of my favorite series. Another one that comes to mind, Lucifer from Supernatural, which
Oh yeah.
Supernatural is another topic, but I really liked Lucifer during his time in his short season.
Well, and I like that just the process of him falling apart, and because he's not in like the vessel he's supposed to be in.
Yeah.
But also like the way they made him, he's not just scary, he was eloquent,
Right.
That was
and
was nice.
like that's the thing. Like you don't have to be scary because your presence alone does it all.
Did you watch Supernatural, Sus?
I did.
Whoa.
Yeah, I watched all the way to season like 8.
Whoa. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we all watched too much Supernatural. We all should have stopped after season 5, but I digress.
There were some later seasons I liked, but
There were parts.
exactly. Yeah, it's like they'd have a good idea and they'd start with it. I'm like, oh, the season's gonna be good, and by the end, I'm like, you didn't know where you're going, did you?
Yeah. But anyway, so in saying that, it's funny because those are the ones I usually go for, but my favorite supervillain is probably Lex Luthor, who is the complete opposite because he's a human that wants to defy a god per se.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to tell you how amazing he is with like the movies alone because the movies have yet to do him justice.
Yeah, I can understand.
But he is just, I mean, he's essentially the smartest person on the planet. He's a billionaire just like Batman. So he has all these resources and he's just so meticulous, and he has that kind of thing where, what you said with Lucifer, he's just very elegant in what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I think a good portrayal of him is in Young Justice, Alan, because I know you've seen that.
Thank you. Well, I was going to say, like, my favorite Lex Luthor has actually been the Justice League Unlimited and the old Justice League ones.
Ah, yeah.
Because, like, I think of the new 52 Lex Luthor, and he's kind of annoying and, just a complete maniac instead of, like, having it under control.
Exactly, yeah. The Lex Luthor that has it under control is definitely my fave.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And it helps that one of my favorite TV shows is not Supernatural.
Lex Luthor in Supernatural.
What's that, season 17?
You know it. Smallville.
They did a Scooby-Doo Supernatural crossover. They did do that.
That's incredible. What percentage of Shaggy's power did they use?
Oh man, that's great. But anyway, Smallville. He was at Smallville and I loved him. So yeah. You have anything else, Alan, or you're just gonna stick with the Joker?
I'm like trying to think. I'm going through, and for some reason, it's just all just DC villains.
Yeah, because DC has good villains.
Yeah, I do. I agree. DC has good villains. I think X-Men has better villains than
Vittles.
than most of the rest of Marvel. As far as I know, but like I'm far from an expert.
I don't know, but like maybe I'm just like the starry-eyed like child or whatever. But like I don't know. I don't typically like villains, you know.
Who are you?
Thank you.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't need this kind of positivity in my life.
Like I'm really enjoying recent Harley Quinn. With her. Like I know this isn't new Injustice, but like. Oh, she gets over the Joker and she's like her own person and she's super strong. But like, I know she's not a villain anymore.
Yeah, I don't think she was ever a villain, really. I think she was more of an anti-hero who was kind of just trapped in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I mean, hey, that's fine. You like to see the hero succeed. I can respect that.
So you like that god type villain? Like, did you like the villain from Doctor Strange, Dormammu?
Well, no, because I didn't like Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Oh.
They didn't do much with Dormammu in that movie.
No, they didn't.
It
was more like
Caecilius was the, bad guy.
Yeah. I think I would have if they showed more of him, but I don't even know because I've never read a Doctor Strange comic either. So
Yeah.
Hazel, what's your favorite supervillain?
yes, and for you listeners out there, we would love to know who your favorite supervillain is as well. So let us know on our Twitter at Those Nerdscast or wherever you find us.
Yeah, I need some, I'm sure there's gotta be a supervillain I like. I need some inspiration right now is what's going on.
What about, like, Itachi? Does he count?
I guess, but like...
You didn't like him either?
No, I mean, Naruto kind of dragged on a little too long for me.
I mean, he died before it dragged on too much, right?
Right, but then you don't really know about his, like, anti-hero-ness until, later on.
All right, well, you'll figure it out as soon as we're done recording.
Just pop the recording on, yell the name. That's it.
So, Sus, what got you excited this week?
There are two things that got me excited. One I knew was coming, but it was a release date for something. And the other thing caught me off guard. Big surprise. I'm actually super excited for it for the future. So what do you guys want? The little thing or the big thing?
I mean, what do you want to go into first?
I'll do the little thing first, which is World of Warcraft Classic got its official release date, which is August 27th. So I'm really excited for that. It is at the end of summer, so work is gonna pick up a little bit more. But it's something that I came into World of Warcraft at the end of the vanilla game, and so that's something like I didn't really get to experience it from the beginning. And I have some friends who are really excited to play it. We're gonna play it together, and we're probably going to stream it. And it has some quality of life fixes and some graphical fixes, so it's not so like old feeling. But other than that, it's keeping the base game from like it's when it hit the market and people were like blown away by it. So I'm very excited to play that and get that experience. They're going to do staged content. So as the game came out, they would add a patch and add new content, and the game would grow. They're going to start at patch 1.12. That's like the when they have everything settled, all the major bugs are gone, and the game can kind of continue from that point. And then they're going to do staged content. I don't know how fast they're going to release it, but they're going to release new content as people complete the old content. And so I'm very excited for that. It's kind of a story that unfolds as you play it.
Is this new content like still old content, but it's
yes.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's everyone kind of knows what it is and what it's coming, but they're going to release it basically. If you bought the game back then and played it, and then they're going to release that new, I guess, old content as you play it. So it'll be from the beginning of the game all the way till right before the Burning Crusade came out, which was the first expansion.
Oh.
So is this version of World of Warcraft going to be its like own separate entity?
Yes.
Like separate from the current World of Warcraft servers?
That's correct. Yeah, you play on separate servers that are basically WoW Classic servers, and you get the game for free with your regular WoW subscription, which I haven't played WoW in a long time because I don't care about the current stuff. So, but the classic stuff, I'm like, I could play that.
Is it still going to be subscription based?
I believe so. I've heard rumors that there's a reduced subscription, but I haven't seen any real evidence of that, and like any hard evidence about that. So it's probably just a regular subscription. But I think the World of Warcraft Classic is free. So even if you don't have the base game, it's like you just pay for a subscription, you're in,
Okay.
So
was it World of Warcraft is one of those things I like kind of want to get into, but there's so much going on now in current WoW that like I don't feel.
Oh well,
I could.
You
get
should
into
join
it,
us in WoW Classic because it's from the beginning.
Yeah, I'm totally down.
Yeah. The only like sad thing for me is I wish that Warcraft 3 Reforged, which is like the I guess remaster of Warcraft 3. I wish that was coming out before this, so I could kind of play through Warcraft 3, because World of Warcraft takes place. I actually don't know exactly when World of Warcraft starts to Warcraft 3, but I'm pretty sure it takes place after Warcraft 3.
I mean, I know nothing about Warcraft lore.
Oh yeah, I played Warcraft from the first one. I don't know how old I was. I was tiny, and my uncle showed me this game, Warcraft, and I was blown away. I had to buy it, and I'm pretty sure I had it on a floppy disk. That's how old it was. So.
Oh man.
yeah, like I'm serious. It was old.
I mean, cool uncle.
Yeah, no, he was. He showed me StarCraft as well, and like I got super into StarCraft. So the other thing I got really excited about, which this is I think the big one. I think the news hit on Thursday. My resource for this is Polygon.com is the article I saw. So Sony and Microsoft are teaming up. They are now friends, right? To develop new technology for like cloud-based gaming services and stuff like that. I think a lot of people think it's to battle like Google Stadia and Nvidia's games over
GeForce
internet.
Now?
Yeah, GeForce Now. Thank you. So Google Stadia, GeForce Now, Sony and Microsoft are like, we're gonna combine to fight you guys. So I think GeForce Now is probably the weak link in there. Other than they build their own video hardware technology, so they have a one up in that sense because PlayStation, Xbox, and Google all buy from another person, so they don't build it themselves. But yeah, so it's going to be based on Microsoft Azure, which Azure is something you guys all have on your Windows PCs. It's already built in. And so Sony is going to be taking advantage of that, but they're working together. So it's an equal partnership. It's not a merger. Some people said it's like a Sony Microsoft merger. It's not. It's just a partnership.
Oh man, that might signal the end date.
yeah. But yeah, it's about game streaming, but they're also combining on other things like semiconductors and AI. So they're going to be working together on those things, which is
oh god,
yeah, something that Microsoft is deeply involved in, and I know Sony wants to be involved in, and Microsoft said they respect them as a big powerhouse in terms of new technology, and has always been a leader in like entertainment and stuff. So they're very excited to combine.
Nice. I love the idea of a merger. Sony Soft.
oh my goodness, that's awful.
What about Microny?
No. That sounds like micro knee, like a kneecap.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my crony. You're like, you and Alan are my cronies. Microny?
Well, we were all see, this is why it's bad.
Yeah. Sony Soft it is, I guess.
It's like the thing that makes you excited about the AI thing is the thing like tangent that makes me like truly terrified.
I, for one, welcome our Android overlords.
I'm there with Sal. I agree. It's inevitable. You might as well be friends with them now.
Oh god.
So they give you a position high up in the human hierarchy.
There you go.
Oh my god. Like,
Sal, friend to robots.
My anxiety aside. Dang, that's cool. I remember I got excited about like NVIDIA GeForce before, and that's shocking to hear that that's the weak link, because I don't know, just from my user experience, it runs pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it has the potential to be, because in terms of like company size, NVIDIA is smaller than Google and smaller than Sony and Microsoft, I think. So, because Sony's got their hands in so many different things, Microsoft is a giant, So the fact that Microsoft and Sony are partnering in this, but like I said, the advantage that NVIDIA has, they have the hardware themselves. They make that hardware, whereas Sony and Microsoft both, for their Xbox and PlayStation, both buy from AMD.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering, like, you said they bought from someone. I was like, who is this mysterious third?
Yeah, no, they both, Xbox and PlayStation, Xbox One, PlayStation 4 are both based on AMD Jaguar AMD Jaguar hardware. So the next generation of games are probably going to be based on AMD Zen architecture, which is very exciting. It has potential to be a lot more powerful. But I mean, things change. Who knows? What someone might partner with Nvidia or something like that. But I think that they're trying to keep the cost down, and AMD just wins in that cost to performance ratio. And so the fact that consoles can like dial into that hardware better than most PCs just gives them, like, why would they not go with the cheaper alternative, especially when it's good?
Okay, so that's kind of where my question comes in, because the NVIDIA GeForce Now is it's based off computer games, so this would be based off of console games?
Yeah, I think the plan is to, I mean, I don't know from this article, but PlayStation already has a cloud gaming service, which is PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that launched in like 2014. So, but I think this will allow them to make basically cloud downloading, but also cloud playing of games. So those are two separate entities. But essentially, Microsoft and Sony could both release a console that doesn't have any like serious hardware in it, just a tiny little box, and you play the entire library of Microsoft and Sony games. I don't know how much they're going to partner in this. Like, are Xbox and Sony going to become the same thing? I don't think so. I think they're still going to be separate entities, but they're both going to be based on Microsoft Azure, which is their like streaming service.
Do you think with this partnership that, if assuming that we keep the consoles separate, if they're using the same like streaming and cloud play technology through, Microsoft Azure, just we could have cross-platform play between these two now?
Yeah, I hope that's the case. I don't think there should be anything keeping any friends from playing with each other, no matter what it is. That's just personal opinion. I hope that Microsoft and Sony eventually see it that way. Sony's been like resistant to that in the past, and Microsoft has said, "Hey, we're wide open." And I think just Microsoft being wide open about that has kind of, I don't know, piqued Sony's interest. So I think that's what started this whole thing. Like Sony and Microsoft started, "Hey, let's just talk and let's be open. We don't have to be aggressive."
Hey, let's get lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing too intimate, casual.
Yeah. So Microsoft also did announce that it has a game streaming solution in the works too, xCloud, right? Which I guess they announced in October of 2018. But everyone's expecting to see tons of xCloud stuff in E3. So
Ooh, that's coming up.
yeah, exactly. It's coming up, and so expect a lot of xCloud news. And probably more news about this partnership between Sony and Microsoft. And we'll see how they both handle E3. I mean, they could, who knows, one of them might just be really rude to each other in E3 and that this whole thing just falls apart.
At the end.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I'm very hopeful. I like Sony as a company. I like Microsoft as a company. And just working together, like, competition's good for us. So NVIDIA, I hope NVIDIA is successful. I hope Google's successful. I hope this Sony-Microsoft partnership is successful because all of it is good for us as a consumer.
Right.
It's like a thought just crossed my mind. Like, it'd be crazy if 2019 would be the end of the console wars.
Yeah. Nintendo's nowhere in sight for this, so
no, although
not just yet.
What was it during? Didn't they start work, like, say that they, what was it? There was something about them working with like Microsoft and Sony or something.
Oh.
Yeah, they're definitely becoming more open. Like they're porting all the games.
Yeah.
And they have been working with, I'm pretty sure it is Microsoft, with some stuff. And like they're in the cross-platforming like game too, so
Interesting, yeah. That's really cool. I think that's all exciting. Yeah, the end of console wars. What is this?
Yeah,
that would be great.
2019 is already like this crazy year. We got the end of Avengers, end of Game of Thrones. We might get the end of console wars.
Yeah. That would be great. Just like, hey, just buy the console you want because you want it. There's no judgment here.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm playing on a PS5. What are you playing on? Oh, I'm playing on the Nintendo Switch 2. Oh, cool, man. Let's play together. Awesome. High five. So, that's it for me. So, Sal, what did you get excited about?
All right. So I got excited about an anime.
Oh.
A long time. Well,
Surprise,
it's been a
surprise,
while. So yeah, it's been a while. I thought I should bring up some anime.
Do I need to prime myself for the title?
Yeah, no.
On a scale, how close is it to Citrus?
Don't worry, it's nowhere near.
Okay.
All
ready
right,
then.
so it's called Demon Slayer.
Ooh!
Have you heard of this?
I have. It's from Ufotable.
Yes.
Everything just went over my head, but Demon Slayer sounds really cool.
I know. So it's called Demon Slayer hold on, let me get this right.
Prep the Japanese.
Kimetsu no Yaiba.
We
And and it is based off a manga series written by Kojo Haru Gotoge, and it came out February in 2016, and they are adapting it in April 2019 of this year. It is a dark fantasy shonen anime.
Shonen's fun, right?
And what if you know me, I have a very love-hate relationship with shonen anime. I tend to usually lean towards more hate, but it's just the kind of practices they do where, for people who don't know what shonen animes, they don't normal animes are very seasonal, so they'll have their season of like 12 episodes or 24 episodes, and then they'll come back with another season like a year later or something. Shonen isn't like that. Shonen is year round all the time. They don't take breaks. Every week there's always a new episode.
That sounds
And
rough.
it is very rough. Like, the people that work in that industry get very overworked. And the problem with that is, like, not only are people probably not in the best circumstances for animation and stuff, but also it shows in the quality of animation that gets pumped out because you have to pump out so much quality at a time.
Mm-hmm.
You tend to either, like, ditch the quality and just low grade everything, or you make a bunch of filler episodes, which are episodes that don't pertain to the story, but they're like quick little things that can be easily animated. And everyone hates fillers.
That's what actually I was going to ask about. I was going to say doesn't Shonen have more filler episodes than like others?
Yeah.
The notorious example here, I think we're not saying is Naruto, right?
Uh-huh.
There's some phenomenal animated fight scenes in that series. Like, I still go back and watch some of them. But if you, like, try to watch the whole show, those phenomenal moments end up getting drowned out by the filler and the moments where you can see, like, the animation, they had to, like, kind of take shortcuts.
Yeah. Like, filler makes it so they can kind of save their time and budget on those amazing fight scenes, but because they're so few and far between, it doesn't really make up for what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And so usually when it comes to shonen, I really hate that. And
it's like a quantity over quality type thing.
yeah, and it's a problem because even despite that, shonen are still like the most popular anime. Like, I can say, oh, hey, have you ever heard of Naruto or Dragon Ball Z or My Hero Academia? You don't have to be an anime fan to know what those are. Like, they're so popular because...
Okay, well, now hold on. My Hero Academia is very good, and they are not year-round.
Yeah, well, they're still titled as a shonen, but I was going to get to that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, how dare you?
It's because they're so consistent that they're so popular and they stay relevant for so long. And that's good, but when you're looking for quality, it's not the best. But so in recent years, with shows like My Hero Academia and now Demon Slayer, they've kind of broken the mold where they'll actually adapt shonen as seasonal anime to make it so there is no filler. And so they've kind of gotten better in that regard. But so Demon Slayer.
Nice.
It is about a boy named Tanjiro Kamado, and he lives in a quiet little village, as shonen boys do. And one day when he's out trying to sell coal or charcoal, I think it was, to get some, money for his family, his whole family gets slaughtered by a demon.
As one does.
As one does, And he goes back home and sees all his family's dead except one, which is his sister, who is now turned into a demon. And the problem with this is, instead of being... because demons in this universe eat humans, instead of being very flesh hungry, she ends up showing very human emotions and refuses to eat her brother.
Oh.
And so he ends up...
How very admirable.
Right? he So he ends up vowing to find a way to turn his sister back into a human. And that's essentially what the story is about, because he becomes a demon slayer to do so.
So he didn't slay his sister. He's slaying demons to find a way to save his sister.
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
Is it wrong that reminds me of Dororo?
That's actually what I thought of. Dororo.
I was actually thinking Full Metal Alchemist.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh my goodness, Ted!
Yeah.
Sorry, sus!
No, it's fine. Everyone says, like, oh, you need to watch that because your name's Edward and his name's Edward. So, yeah, Edward.
There's much better reasons for people to tell you to watch that show than that.
I agree, and that's why I'm always like, that's your reason? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so in Full Metal Alchemist, they get into alchemy and they use it to save their mother, but that doesn't work. And so they end up using it to trying to find a way to get their bodies back.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right. I am more confused than I started, but I am still interested.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and invoke our new segment.
Okay.
I don't have a
You don't have a jingle prepared.
I don't have a jingo prepared, but welcome to Waifu Watch.
Oh.
And I'm going to introduce you to the lovely sister of Tanjiro. Named...
Oh no, a sister.
Yes.
I thought this was a shonen, not an emoto.
Her name is Nezuko, and she is a demon.
Oh.
I'm sold.
Irresistible, right?
Here is a picture of her.
Here we go. Oh, she doesn't really look like all that demonic.
No, because this is her kind of
Human form?
not demonic form. When she gets mad, her like eyes get all
Well, they are
demonic,
pink.
and
She's got a real
Yeah.
bad case of pink eye.
I love pink.
You do. You really do love pink. You love the pink-haired psychos. That's the
Yandere's.
Yandere.
Yandere, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, she's a demon who fights to keep her brother alive, and they're basically just traveling together to get her humanity back. And it is a very wholesome relationship, so you don't have to worry about that.
I was gonna say, I love that sister-brother duo taking care of each other. Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah, and everyone has taken it upon themselves to make this girl like one of the best girls of this season. And I think that's partially because it kind of seems like she's always in bondage because
Oh my god.
she has the mouthpiece because she has these fangs and it kind of blocks her nose so she can't smell human flesh. So that's why she has that, so she doesn't eat people.
That's just like a stick of bamboo, though, right?
It is.
Yeah, it is. It's actually wrapped around her. You can't really see
Yeah.
it. But she's great.
It's the bamboo muzzle.
Yeah, and she has this ability because demons have supernatural abilities because of course, where she can kind of like de-age or age herself. And so
I mean, that's a pretty cool ability.
So demons are kind of like vampires in this world where they can't be out in the sun, otherwise they'll disintegrate.
Oh.
And so what she ends up doing is like de-aging herself so she can go into this like bamboo crate that her brother carries her on her back.
Oh, okay. How old was she before turning into a demon? Like, what is her actual age? If she's like messing with age.
This is her normal age. You see her right now.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think they specifically say what her age is, but I'm pretty sure she's a teenager.
Is it an older sister or a younger sister?
It is a younger sister.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure he was the oldest. So, yeah, that's her. I just wanted to get that out of the way because she's great.
Nice.
So, yeah, the reason why this anime caught my eye because it is being done by the anime network Ufotable.
Yeah.
Ted or Sus does not know who that is.
Yeah,
but
I was just like blank stare.
they are notorious for having the best animation quality of all anime right now.
Okay.
And so they're the ones that did Fate Zero. I know you've seen that one.
I've seen, yes, that sounds familiar. I've seen a bit of that one.
Okay.
I think I started it.
They did Fate Zero, Garden of Sinners, God Eater,
Unlimited Blade Works.
Unlimited Blade Works,
He's-
Tales of Suspiria, the X, and the list kind of goes on. Their animation and their fight sequences are so beautiful.
Dude, I was gonna mention that for this anime, like that's the only part I've seen about the show so far, just the fight sequences and the use of just like the painted elements, but with like clashing with the character designs. I don't know, it just looks so fucking cool.
Yeah, that aesthetic is just very nice.
Did you say painted elements? Like they use
Yeah.
actual like hand painted backgrounds?
Yeah, no, it's like, so imagine you're holding a weapon and you summon like water to surround it, but it's like what you would see in like an Asian painting version of water with the heavy outlines and the colors. And they do that with like other elements too. I'm like, holy crap.
I have to see this.
You do. Everyone needs to see it. It's insane.
All right, hold on. Let me get in.
He's like, wait. Not only do you have to see this, you have to see this now.
So this is actually the opening.
Okay, let me hit this. Oh, I saw it. I saw the water.
Yeah, do you see that?
All right, I gotta agree. Effects look incredible. All right, and animation looks super smooth. I mean, that was an opening, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So obviously, like the animation's always better. I mean, they're gonna reuse that over and over again, so take some time and make it right. But it looked incredible.
Yeah, it's super. Ah, man. Talk about aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah,
right?
like that's aesthetic right there.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
no, that was very nice, and the characters all looked interesting. Like I don't even know who they are, but they were like they still were just like even in the few seconds I saw them, they were distinct enough to be like, all right, that's that one, that's that one. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's great, and it's funny that because this opening. So I was like, oh man, Ufotable's doing another anime. I have to check it out. So I clicked on it and I was watching it. And then this opening came up. And this opening is done by an artist named Lisa. And she does a lot of anime openings. And she's like one of my favorite anime singers. And so I was like, I'm sold. Everything is sold. And it turned out it's actually really good. I really enjoy it.
So wait, is this anime already out?
Yes, it is currently on its 7th episode.
Okay, and where can we see it?
You can check it out on Crunchyroll.
I have Crunchyroll.
I believe it's also on Funimation, but no one has that service.
I was like, that's a service?
Yeah, they have their own streaming service.
So, which, by the way, if you have Twitch Prime, you can get Crunchyroll a month for free.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh yeah, that's true. Good reminder.
Yeah, that applies to now. So if you're watching this later, it's probably already over. Applies to this month, May 2019.
Any other questions before we move on?
No, I'm just like, I need to fucking watch this show already, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what I'm doing when we're done talking.
Alan,
So
what got you excited this week?
all right, so technically it didn't happen this week, but so much has been going on, I didn't get the chance to talk about it.
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't want your old news.
Old news. Well, okay. So I actually posted a tweet about this about last week, but one of my favorite web series is in the process of coming back. There's a Kickstarter for it right now. It's the first thing I've ever supported with my money because like I'm an adult now and I have that power.
nice.
And it's called Tales of Alethrion.
That sounds cool.
Is that the cartoon?
Yes, it's that. So you brought it up recently, Sus.
Ross O'Donovan talked about it.
Yeah, and actually it's been confirmed that if we reach the Kickstarter goal, Ross O'Donovan is going to make a cameo appearance in the show.
Woo!
Yes, but, oh man, the first season, I'll say now, the second season, Tales of Alethrion, it's on Kickstarter right now. If you've never heard the series, do yourself a treat, check it out. I was a freshman in college when I first saw an ad for this web series on Cartoon Hangover. I just been watching Bravest Warriors because I love Pendleton Ward. But this is like the first piece of animation that had made me like feel some kind of emotional effect, And it's stuck with me ever since because this is a show that there's no dialogue in the show whatsoever. Like all of the the communication is just through sound effects and the animation and I mean
action and expression.
Yeah, like I think that alone is just a testament to how phenomenal this like show is that it can get across like all these complex emotions without any words.
Like Samurai Jack?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's a lot like that, right? It's the except in Samurai Jack is like the silent moments that speak the loudest, right? Except this is just all that.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
They're like, what if it was Samurai Jack without the words?
So it would just be Samurai Jack. Before I go any further, I have to say the people's names that made this because they're awesome and I love them, and they're really big D&D nerds. This first season was made by Mikhail Maines and Kenneth sorry, these are Danish names.
Mhm.
Ledekiger, or people from Denmark are Danish, right?
Yes, people from Denmark are Danish, and generally in that like area of language, a J makes a Y sound.
So Ledekyar.
Probably, yeah.
And then I also have to the person that composes the music for their show is Matthias Valiant, and the opening to this web series is this thing I keep fucking going back to because it's so just kick ass. It's like a true testament to this high fantasy show because this show is high fantasy. The song just keeps building up and building up and building up, and I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Man, I love the animation style. It's like it's a mix of like modern techniques and old techniques. It almost has a ever so slightly Studio Ghibli feel.
My God, I'm wondering, I might just insert the song here into the podcast because this is it's such a good thing.
You guys should actually make in your Discord channel a little channel that only you can post in, you and Sal can post in, and call it like podcast references or something.
Oh yeah, we have visual aids for that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just remember when I was lying down in my dorm bed, and there's one character from the show. She's called Amarath, and when you see her journey, it was actually one of the non-canon stories, but just watching her character when she had spent her whole life just searching for her previous lover and only realizing to find him he had died, killed by his own greed. And then her looking in this mirror and realizing that she had spent her entire life doing this. I legitimately started crying, and this was the first piece of animation that made me realize this is the power of animation and shows and entertainment. And it was this show that made me realize that.
Just art in general. And
Yeah.
I guess it's like you realizing that this is art, right?
Yeah, this was that I guess trigger for me that flipped that switch in my mind. This is what art can do.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, and now the season 2 Kickstarter is out. It's all or nothing, and God, people, please check this out. And if you love it as much as I do, support it, because oh my God, I really want to see more.
I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, that's all I had. Just please check it out. This is a video.
He's like, Alan's, please look at it.
I can't talk too much about the video or the story itself, right? Because there's no dialogue or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say when we were at Level Up Expo and I went to the panel that was talking about writing and creating comic books, one of the things that they said that must be done to make a comic readable and successful is to draw it as if it didn't have word bubbles, and if the audience can follow that, then you have something good. And that's all this is.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
So good on them.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for enthusing with us, because that is what we got excited about this week. If you enjoyed what you heard, feel free to share it with a buddy, and you guys can nerd out together with these cool things. And if you have any recommendations for improvements, feel free to leave them in the comments of our SoundCloud page. If you want to help out with the show, then ratings on our iTunes and Stitcher pages go a really long way. If you enjoy cosplay or want to see pictures of our faces, we have an Instagram now. And if you want a place to hang out with us, join our Discord server. We have dedicated channels for topic recommendations, show improvements, nut jar offerings. Links to all of these pages can be found on our website, thosenerdscast.wixsite. That's wixsite.com/home. Ted, I want to thank you again for, all the help you've given us and for being on the show today. Where can people find you?
Thank you so much. I am on Twitch, twitch.tv/Suspiria, the letter N, friends. So that's where I stream 2 times a week, so we don't overdo it. We got lives. No, this is my life. I don't know what I'm talking about. And then and then also on Twitter at SusNFriends. So it used to be Where is Suspiria. It's all changed over now, so we're good. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Sal, do you have anything to plug?
All right, so you can find me on Twitter at Salzik. on Instagram at Mr. Salzik, and on my Twitch channel, which is also Salzik, and then my blog, gotamoment.com. I've actually been posting a little bit more frequently.
Yeah, you have been.
So.
You sent me that post you did about, lyrics and mental health and songs and how...
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, that was a good piece, I'm going to just say.
I actually got feedback from a lot of people that I don't really even talk to. They seen the Twitter post and they were like, "This was really good, man." And I was like, thank you.
You can find me on Twitter at @ArielEyes_. I don't post much, but it's a good way to get in contact with the show. And if you want to get in contact with the show, because we're always looking for guests, because having a third person always kind of makes the riffing easier. You can go to our Twitter at ThoseNerdsCast or our email, thosenerdscast@gmail.com. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you again next Wednesday.
Goodbye.
Bye.